We have run up Lake Shafer in Indiana. We did a show here about probably 4 or 5 years ago, but I never ran all the way up the ditch. Stick with us. We're on beautiful Lake Shafer. A little bit different deal. We're fishing 3 feet of water, late fall, 60-degree water temp. We're gonna catch a whole bunch of these. Midwest Outdoors, stay with us. Why are you trying to pull that fish over my prop? All the places you could pull it.
Almost ate them too.
You just about did.
That's the ticket. Lipless crankbaits. He jumped all over this thing. What we're fishing with here is Pradco's new TX bait. They're just eating it alive.
I'm actually using a crawfish pattern to start with. This is a TX series. They actually make 2 of them. That's kind of the tambourine sound to it, and then they make one in a 1-knocker, which is just a clacker, single clack. It's like a cack, 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 cack instead of the actual rattle. But the reason I had Larry go with the chartreuse and me with the crawfish is because all the way up here, just clouds and clouds and clouds of bait fish, shad primarily. And there's 2 schools of thought there. You could try to match the hatch, or you can try to throw a bait that is enough different to where he's looking at a big, huge school of shad and something of different color comes through, and you catch fish on that. And right now it's working. We hadn't had to change colors yet. Right underneath the bridge. That one probably shouldn't count. He's like, man, I'm safe under that bridge. No, I'm not. Well, you can tell we haven't moved about 15 inches. These are smaller fish, and that one's living in my coat now. Those are not keepers, but we're on to something. And the last time the sun comes out like this, the rocks are the first thing to warm up. And if you actually see what I'm doing right here, I was actually cheating. I was throwing completely up underneath the bridge, and I just let it sink a little bit, and that fish was right on the edges of the rocks. We definitely are on to something. Look at that. How about that?
Wow.
I think we're on to something, Larry.
Yep.
We can just get some bigger fish. We're definitely on numbers. You know, a lot of times in the fall, red's a really overlooked color. Got made real popular in Texas, and they call it Lake Fork color, and you've probably heard of Lake Fork color as much as you've heard of its actual red. But whether you know it or not, in the fall, I mean, the primary forage these fish are eating is going to be a shad. But in the fall, also one of the primary colors is going to be crawfish. And they turn this color, bright red. I mean, I'm talking skeeter red right here in the middle of the fall. And it's a good color to try, because usually when they're on it, I mean, it's an on-off switch. It doesn't take you very long at all. They're either on it or they're not. You know, that is an absolute textbook, Larry. Classic spot. You got a culvert running out right here. You got the ditch right under the boat. We've got the inside bend of a point right there, and the fish, we got 5 feet of water under the boat, and this fish was a little bit better fish, a little more like what we're looking for. That's keeper on this lake. And as you can see, all he's got to do is shake one time. Yep. But that would be a keeper on this lake. 6 of those, a lot of times, will win you a tournament on this lake.
Folks, one of the things that we focused on today is pinch points. And by pinch points, what I mean is a funnel down area actually in the water where schools of bait fish are traveling to and from other areas of water. And you can find that under culverts, under bridges, anywhere a narrow river or part of the lake focuses down and narrows down into a smaller body. It's where you're going to find, or where we found today, the more active fish, and actually more fish.
Larger groups of fish.
Larger groups of fish that are active and are biting.
Right back on our pattern. If you'll look right there, that would be our pinch point. It's just a bridge span. We're doing exactly what we've been doing all day long and catching a whole bunch this size. And you're not gonna see on camera the 2.5 pounder I jumped off or the 6 pounder that I jumped off, but they've been on pinch points. It's been a pretty cool day so far.
Yeah! What you can see is we were fishing this riprap right behind us, and these shad are being pushed up against the rock as well as in this bay around the dock area. They're just being chased by these bass, and they've got them all schooled up, and they're just, there you go, here you go.
You reckon they got them all schooled up?
That's the school. He just threw this in there and hooked a shad, and this is what they're chasing. And then this is what we're trying to match the hatch with right here. This is just a frenzy. All you have to do is just cast it right into the shad school, and they're just swarming at it. Nice little Indiana bass.
That's a good one.
Whoa.
That's a big fish. That one was on that stump. I'm gonna come right to you.
This is cool when you could see them and then go cast to them and catch them. Oh, beautiful.
I told you there was some bigger fish in that school.
You know, it's really cool when you just see the green come and swipe at those shad.
Yeah, that one actually, and I mean, look at that, feeding up for the fall. That's about as fat as a fish needs to get right there. And if a fish could curse, that one just did.
It's just
Thighs.
one after another. Ooh, yeah! Well, folks, here you go. It's been fun. Been a fall day here on Lake Shafer in Northwest Indiana. Caught a ton of fish. And this is the, oh, there you go. Mark's got one in the background. Mark, it's been a ball fishing with you today. I want to thank you for taking us out here. Lake Shafer, Northwest Indiana. I'm Larry Ladowski. Midwest Outdoors will be right back. We'll catch you later. Yeah.